some sort of workbook so you can reference that later. I'm probably going to save that one, not going to lie, it's pretty sweet. Okay, so what we want to do now is we've done some Googling, actually got a bit excited. Use classes IDs, we've learned some basic CSS, and now we're going to look to add some external CSS. One thing before we go, I should mention this. There's a lot of things here inside CSS. You know, you can float, navigation bars, links, text, outlines, height and width. I recommend just reading. You can go one or two ways. You can either read through all of this and learn about what you can write, you know, for example, learning these. Or you could just copy paste like I did, but still read through and go, I wonder what border radius is. You know, let me take that off. Oh, okay, it's looking quite sharp. Okay, well, let's play around and make it 22. You know, do things like this. Now it's nice and round. And that's how you learn what these different things do, by having it played. The other way, I guess, is to just read about it, but for me, when I first started out, I'd spend hours just in here tinkering, you know, on and off, learning about, oh, this is how you do RGB. You know, you can also have RGB, you can have static colors like this, you can have hex colors using these. So I encourage you to go off and have lots of fun. Anyway, that actually looks quite nice. Let's look at Bootstrap. You may have seen it, heard about it, wondered how to use it. First of all, CSS only, that's really all we're going to do. Copy paste this. If you want animated stuff and carousels and things to move around and animate, you do need these three here, these JavaScripts. But just for now, CSS. We will add the other one later. Probably in a week or so. So we want our styles to override Bootstrap, so we're going to do Bootstrap in a second. So, there we are. You actually need this across origin, otherwise it fails to load, so just copy and paste this stuff in. Now, a key trick for seeing if you have Bootstrap, take a look at all the text here, and now look at it. It's changed! So that's how you know Bootstrap is pretty much right. If you're unsure, you can just expand the head. So what this is, you might think, oh, it now looks worse than before. Yeah, it looks way better. These default styles come with Bootstrap, so it's a great way to see whether it's running or not. And each sort of CSS framework has their own default styling, and you can restyle it back to how it was, but I actually prefer this personally. Cool, what does Bootstrap do? Documentation, examples. Usually for me, I just dive straight into the examples and I have a look and go, well, start a template, it's a bit too extreme. Nav bars, okay, there's lots of things here. You can actually inspect it and just copy paste the code from in here. You know, you could grab that. But documentation, once we decide, so say here, okay, Jumbotron, that looks pretty cool, nav bars look cool, let's head into the docs. So we know we're looking for a Jumbotron and nav bar. Oh, it's in components, whoops. Okay, Jumbotron, that looks pretty cool. That looks, I kind of like the fluid one, so let's grab that. So copy, you can actually just click that. Copy. Oh, where should we put it? Let's get rid of all these ugly H1s. Chuck that in. There's our Jumbotron, which is pretty cool. It should be somewhat responsive, so ready for mobile, that sort of stuff. But the key thing is, it's there. And now it's up to you or myself to go ahead and style this, make this better. Obviously fluid Jumbotron isn't really what we want, so life of my cat. And inside here, this is the life of my cat. You know, something like that. Done. Alright, so we might want an image. Do they have